Doing Skype coaching and talking to people, it's very fascinating to dig deeper, like an onion, peel the layers of what's really going on. Because on the surface, we think one thing. We think we want to fix ourselves, we want to change ourselves, we want to improve ourselves. So we'll go to get the books, go to a psychologist, uh, do whatever we feel necessary to get the help to fix ourselves. But on the subconscious level or on a deeper level, there's more. It's like an iceberg. The tip of the iceberg says, yes, I want to fix, I want to change myself. I'm tired of having all these problems and this grief or misery in my life. But we don't really examine, and most people were not able to examine ourselves beneath the iceberg. And one of the questions I always like to ask is, how are you benefiting from the very thing you say you want to change about yourself? So if someone can't find a healthy relationship, they seem to be attracting bad relationship after bad relationship and go through breakup after breakup. And they say, okay, I want to fix myself, I want to change myself, and they're really determined on the conscious level, but subconsciously they seem to keep on sabotaging themselves, or they can't fix that pattern that they have going on. And really, it's most people because we don't examine how we benefit from our neuroses, our neurotic behavior. Deep within each neurotic behavior, there is some benefit. And the human mind or the human being is a very, very clever mechanism. It moves towards self-interest. What will benefit the being? It just we naturally gravitate in that direction. Even if we don't realize it, like I said, on a conscious level, subconsciously, we move to where we feel comfortable, safe, secure, and protected. And so the person that can't seem to find a healthy relationship, deep beneath the water, is a protection mechanism that prevents them from getting too deeply attached or intertwined with another person and getting their heart broken or feeling devastated by it not working out. So they're able to sabotage it and protect themselves by finding these unsuitable partners, these toxic relationships. And then they also have a scapegoat. They have something to blame it on. Well, it's because this guy did this or this girl did this and she's crazy. Yeah, but why were you attracted to this person in the first place? Obviously, there's many more reasons beyond that. But I thought, man, it would be so much easier if we really examine ourselves and ask ourselves, is this something I really deeply want to change? Because otherwise you have this part of your being, like this small, and the subconscious that is benefiting from it, constantly at war. And it creates just this stress, drama, and inner turmoil because we're trying to change something that we really want to keep. And if we ask ourselves, do I really want to change this about myself? And then examine, how am I benefiting from this behavior? Because there's always a benefit. How am I benefiting from this behavior? Oh, I'm benefiting this way, I'm benefiting that way. Oh, if I claim I have this thing wrong with me or this debilitating thing, this problem, people feel sorry for me, people don't have as high expectations, or it meets with my, if I have low self-esteem, now I have a reason, I can be more validated for not living up to my full potential, or not failing. Because I'm not failing because this is what's wrong with me. XYZ is wrong with me. And I don't want to let go of that, because then if I let go of that, I have to take full responsibility of my failures. And you notice the ego is very, very tricky. The moment you start poking at someone's ego, it'll, like a snake, it'll attack and it'll find someone to blame. When I was in management and I would bring up issues with employees' performance, there was always an excuse or someone else to blame. The ego just loves that. Doesn't It's hard for people to take full responsibility. And that's why we love it's one of the reasons we love some of our neurotic behavior, because we have an excuse. Human beings love excuses, excuse after excuse. And so we don't want to lose that. And we become very attached to that. And so it's just so much easier just accepting it. Okay, this is what's wrong with me. I attract toxic relationships, and that's okay. I'm going to accept it because subconsciously or on some level, I'm getting more from it than than the cost. And it's not really until the cost, like Eckhart Tolle talks about in his book, that he was suffering and had mental depression and had problems, but never seemed to be able to make that change, that significant change, until things got so bad, he got so depressed, that finally he said enough's enough, and then he just kind of awakened magically. And if you look at people that when they make dramatic changes in their life, it's really not until things get so bad that the cost, the suffering, outweighs the benefit that they're getting from that behavior. And that's it. And then you can be at peace. You don't have to resist. You don't have to fight. You don't have to say, I need to fix myself. I need to change myself. You can just be you in all your neurotic glory. And it's just part of the human experience that we're neurotic, that there's a lot going on and a lot of things that are wrong with us, and that's okay. That's part of being a human being. And when you accept, the ironic thing is when you're able to accept that and not always trying to be in fix myself mode, or I'm not good enough, or this or that, and you just accept who you are as you are, suddenly it's like this weight is lifted off your chest, off your shoulders. It creates space, and you can live more authentically without that pressure. Pressuring has a very what we perceive as a short-term gain at for a long-term pain. When we pressure other people to do something that we want them to do, but that they really don't want to do, what do? They dig in their heels, they resist, and it creates a lot of tension. It's the same thing with us. When we pressure ourselves to fix ourselves or to change ourselves or to do things that we're not ready or we don't want, it just creates like this suffocating feeling, like we're just kind of in a straitjacket, can't breathe. We just don't give ourselves that space because we're so like enveloping ourselves. It's just raining negative energy, pressure, change, and it's just not a fun energy or fun space to be. And when you accept yourself, it just gives you breathing room. It just and things the neurotic behavior tends to sort itself out without you trying to work on it or focus on it. I mean, what you focus just empowers it. So you're just allowing yourself to be, accepting, observing your mind, observing the story that we tell ourselves, realizing that's not us, it's just my thoughts, it's just a story, and that's okay. Thanks for listening.